Another glorious day, y'all. But of course, another glorious day. I hope everything good with you and yours, you heard? We got work to do. It's obvious. Not out here for no reason, but yet to take advantage of such a beautiful day where the temperature is in my favor, where the snow is still very present, where the surrounding area of the planet Earth of which I stand in this very moment, in the beauty and appreciation of the winter time, right? Let's go. Let's get it. Let's So I'm starting off with the dips today. It ain't gonna be, it ain't much moving around to do, but I definitely had an appetite to get this particular exercise, you know, today or what have you, right? Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna incorporate some I'm gonna incorporate some pull-ups, whatever I can get. I'm gonna get it. So just to share with you real quick, this is a huge milestone for me. Why do I say that? Well, I'll tell you. Because if you know, and matter of fact, if you know and if you don't know, all right? I had some major surgery, major nerve damage to my arm, right? It's necessary for me to say this because the milestone that I'm sharing with you is that I'm able to grip that bar with the gloves, okay? Now, my struggles, and I'm gonna get to the work, I'm gonna get back to the work, but I just wanna add on a bit, right? Give you some feedback in terms of this. Now, when it's warmer weather, my grip is more at an advantage, right? In the wintertime, it's less easier for me to grip the bar due to the cold weather and the contraction that it causes naturally, right? With the grip, okay? This is the main point of what I'm saying. We are in the winter. Now, there was a time, right, speaking of winter, where early on in my recovery, I couldn't even, having a glove on my hand in general was very, very uncomfortable due to the nerve damage. And I share with you today that not only am I comfortable with the glove on my hand, but I am able to grip and grasp this bar, which I wasn't able to do probably not even last year. Now, we're talking about a decade of me pushing forward to arrive at this point. We're talking about years and years and years of uncertainty, of not knowing what to expect, of envisioning getting back to this point, okay? So let's get this work, and I wanted to share that with you, right? Because we're not going to do too much talking. We're going to get this work before we verbalize. You dig? That's how we give it up over here. But this is a milestone for me to where I'm able to hit that pull-up bar and grab that bar with the gloves. I wasn't even able to maneuver. I wasn't able to squeeze the gloves on my hand due to the severe nerve damage at one point in my recovery, post-surgery. Let's go, let's get it. Huh.
Grand Canyon style, right? Oh, Mike Bibby, basketball player. Yeah. I bet you got a couple of race car drivers that come out of Arizona. Oh, yeah.
You know you're able to see that too. Okay, we good.
A lot of Mexicans down there too, right? Cowboys. No, that's off. That's Oklahoma. Oh yeah, my mother goes down there.
Make sure my Dewey on right. Yeah. Make sure this thing on right. We out here, we gonna get this money. Then, I kid you not, I'm going to the gym. What time is it? Then I'm going to the gym later on. All right? On that type of, come on, man. We got work to do. So what I'm doing is, as you see thus far, I'm gonna go neutral. I'm gonna go overhand. Then I'm gonna hit the dip, so I'm switching it up. You see? The best of both worlds, like I said, come on, let's get this money. Pushing the pull factor. We got work to do. And I know it don't look like much, with them sets, but I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna mention it again. With what I have with what I have already overcome to arrive to this point. For me. But also want to point out as well is that we're talking about 170. Huh? Do the knowledge. 170 pounds of weight pulling down on such a comeback that required so much dedication, you are. Then we get right back on that ball. Don't underestimate what it entails to lift up, push, and all that with this human body. Morning. So one thing for sure, and what I'ma always do is, I'ma constantly keep attacking the ball. Keep attacking it, all right? So for those who want to get an increase in your reps to become stronger, keep attacking that ball. I don't care how many you get. It's how much effort you put forth. It's how much drive you kick in gear. Huh? Let's go. Salute to y'all, I see you. For applying pressure to that like button. Us. You know what I'm saying? I want you to see what I go through. You know what I'm saying? This ain't to impress nobody, but to give a demonstration of what it requires for oneself to do what is necessary in order to take it a step further. The only thing I'm counting is when I actually do the set. After that, I ain't keeping the count. I'm lost in the work. You know? Sometimes you just gotta get lost in the work and know guarantee you getting beyond plenty. Let's hit this overhand. And what you don't see is my fingers, which each rep start to slowly, the grip loosens up. Huh? But what if I didn't do it at all? That's the question. What if you don't take risk at all? Let's get it. Let's get some more pull work. We're gonna get back to those dips. Listen to your body. Whatever the appetite is demanding, feed it. That's money. I'm sure of that. Now we get back on top of that ball. And of course, the body is talking to me, right? And that talking to is the activation, is the pump, is the begging for more, is the increase of appetite for the work, huh? That's the conversation the physical is having with the mind. Let's get back on that ball. See, at a certain point, if you notice with that 10th rep, I gave it as much I was able to execute. And then me personally, I let it go. Because and for that reason, I felt a great amount of tension building up already. I was at its point. So anything for me to push further, as far as how I listen to my body, I'm good money on that set. More to get, but again, I got to that point where on that set, the attention was at such a great increase, I let it go. Let's get those pulls in, y'all. Let's pull it out. Yeah. I know that sound, because I ain't with it anyway. I ain't explaining myself on that. Right. Get caught up in that nonsense, that way of thinking. I ain't with it. Matter of fact, let me get back on that bar. Yeah, hold on. Overhand. That wasn't one of the most favorable sets, but I tell you this, it all add up. And it all is a great contribution to that Cobra back. To that big, wide, masculine frame. You don't even know this glove, this cheap glove, this joint is unraveling. You don't even see it inside though. It's always something to try to impede. There's no overhand, y'all. But I'm gonna tell you something. And this is sometimes you can forget. I got something for that. Since the gloves wanna play mind tricks, because even with this, take a little piece of my concentration. Let me get what I got. Huh? It's never failed me. Let's go overhand with it. Let's complete that set. Huh? There we go. Much better set. We got work to do. Let's go neutral with it. We got work to do. Yeah, but the beauty is, like I said in the beginning of the video, this is a milestone to where now I'm able to grip and utilize the gloves, which I wasn't able to do for many, many years. You know, I always had to have grips, something that I could lay on the surface, you know? So, slowly but surely, you know, I continuously improve in ways that aren't noticeable unless I make mention it to you, you know, or anybody else. But it's not about everybody else. It's me knowing by way of the progress, and that's what counts. Let's get up on that bar. Let's go overhand again. Could have did better. Let me see what time we got on. Oh, we doing great. We doing great. Let's go. We're gonna go overhand with it, y'all. Let's go neutral with it, y'all. get back up on the bar, y'all. Like I said, keep attacking it. Keep attacking it. Keep attacking it. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by attacking it, get right back at it. You finish one set, get right to the next set. All right? Come out here, still get plenty of vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's not the summer, like I said to you before, that sun is still giving off that vitamin D. Huh? So we're gonna incorporate some of those now. We're gonna go extra wide, as you just see. You know, we're gonna get some of those in again. We're going neutral. We're going overhand. We're going neutral with the extended wide, you know? Major way to target that back. go wide like that, see, again, the grip aspect, your fingertips are very, very much involved with the going wide as such, right? So what is considered to be a small factor in the sense of the size of a certain part of your anatomy, as such as the fingertips, play a major role in the way you function and operate physically. All right? So, and a lot of times we don't realize until something is compromised. You see what I'm saying? That's when we get to realize, you know, how important things are, whether it's your body, whether, you know, and just in general, right? The loss of something increases appreciation. Let's get it. Let's go back to these wide, y'all. Huh? Let's go, huh? Let's go. So we went wide on that. Let me get back on that bar. Up top. And then we follow up with the overhand, y'all. Felt fantastic. Felt fantastic. Then we go neutral with it, y'all. Close grip. Then we go wide with it, y'all. Get right back up there. That's how you do that. You know, you switch up your grip. You know, target that back. And we also, let me not leave out, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. Those biceps, right? When you go neutral, it's sort of like a hammer curl, if you will, right? Within that way of doing so. All right? So with the compound movement, that's the beauty of the multiple muscle groups working together. Even though when you're lifting weights, because everything is connected, that's still, you know, the same way in which the body functions, right? However, with the compound movements, we're talking about the entire body weight, right? So when we hitting this neutral grip, when we are not just hitting our arms or our back, the core, right? Or we hitting our back and our arms, right? And within a more intense targeted engagement with the exercise, right? If that makes sense. Let's get it. Let's go wild with it, y'all. Huh? Ah, the beauty of that. Gee whiz. Gee whiz. And you get right back up there. The thing is, I'm gonna tell you, hold on. You get right back up there. So the reason you want to get right back up there and follow up with that next set, like immediately, especially when hitting the same exercise, is because while that tension, while that stimulation is still simmering, right? To give you an analogy, it's still fired up in that particular area or body part. You're feeding it, you know, you're forcefully feeding it, right? Not to where you're gonna compromise yourself, but when you approach it with a different exercise, but for the same muscle, right? You're feeding it, and again, while it's simmering, while it's still hot, you know what I'm saying? You're giving the body more of a way in which it needs to become stronger to deal and to sustain, you know what I'm saying, the work put forth, the pressure put forth, the demand put forth. Huh? Let's get it. We're gonna go wide again, y'all. We ain't get enough of these. We ain't get enough of these. Let me get back to it because I gotta situate my arm to where my grip is at its best so I can get the best bang on my buck. So in the meantime, not to waste time, we're gonna get back on that bar. Hit the dips. Gonna go overhand now. But I have to admit, with, my hand situation, as time goes on, it does become somewhat more difficult for me to harness that grip, to maintain, but I'm gonna keep pushing. And this is what's going to contribute to the next workout, right? To becoming stronger, right? To more improvement, more healing, huh? Indeed. But we out here. So to substitute that, I'm gonna get back on that bar. And I'm still gonna attempt. Much better. It's much better set. Then we bring it in closer. Then we get back on that bar. Gotta earn your keeps. How the time doing? Yo, I appreciate you. I see you hitting that. Try and press to that like button. Yo, Fresh, what's good? Peace, monster mode, Earths. Huh? But indeed, but of course. But why not? Huh? What's up? What's happening? Appreciate you. Yo, big salute to the chat. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pull up on y'all before we close out. You heard? Now, it ain't below freezing, not today. Fresh, you know what I'm saying? That zero, that 20 below and all that. I'm good on that. Huss. I'm good on that 20 below weather and all that. I ain't gonna front. And you talking about a man that's out here, with all seasons of the elements in those last week and 2 weeks or whatever. It's definitely been brutal. I ain't denying that. So, and I ain't giving none of us any excuses. So if you can't get it outside, you got the gym and you got your home that you dwell in, and I've given examples on that for those, you know what I'm saying, who want to use the weather as an excuse. We don't accept that. At least not at 7 Fitness. I'm going to the gym after my first meal of the day. That's what's up. You know, that's what's up. You know, you're gonna have plenty of fuel too, Fresh, when you go hit that meal. I mean, when you go to the gym after that meal. You know, and give yourself like a yo, Fresh, I would suggest, I'm just saying, you know, before you go to that gym, give yourself at least 45 minutes. You know, let that food digest and process and all that. You know, give yourself at least 45 minutes, the minimum. You know what I mean? Word, that's how I do it though. I'm just saying, you know.
Keep it warm.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt. Enjoy.
You too.
Watch out for the horse shit.
Hey, yo, y'all can't see it, you know what I'm saying? But, dude was just, he was just recording me and all that. It's all good, though. It's public, you know? Word up. I may go viral on his camera. But anyway, let's get it, y'all. We got work to do. So we're gonna go wide again, y'all. What the time looking like? Again, big shout out to y'all. Ah, that was a great set right there, y'all. Let me get right back on that ball. And then, like I said, I'll mess around, go to the gym later, right? So after a workout like this with the body weight, then I'll go hit the actual weights, like fairly lightweight, right? The 40-pound dumbbells and the 205 on the bench press, things of that nature. You feel what I'm saying? Put more emphasis on the bulk of the muscles and all that. Huh? Kid you not. We're gonna go back on the ball with this one. That was a decent set. I'll accept that. I'll accept that. Like I said, get lost in the work. You know what I'm saying? Get lost in the work. Know that you have gotten beyond what you have set for yourself. Another glorious day. Let me make sure that ball, yeah, all right, we good. That's right. Smash that like if you ain't a if you ain't a worm back. You know what I mean? Let's go. Go wild with it again, y'all. We get back up on that ball. Then we go overhand with it. I got to give a little more attention to that overhand. You know, that was like the least of what I incorporated within this routine. So I'm gonna give a little more of that overhand, you know? And I forgot to mention too, I can go underhand with this bar. Let me see how that feels. Yeah, I ain't really with the underhand today, but I've done it on that bar. Go underhand on that bar too. It feel great. Today is just not the day, you know. This time we've been here for a little second. Let's get it though. So I'm gonna go back with the overhand, y'all. I'll accept that. I'll accept that. That was controlled. That was clean. I'll accept that. And then we go neutral with it. Follow right up. Let me get back on that ball. Like I said, get lost in the work. Indeed. We go wide with it again. Hold on. Let me regroup. Let me get that grip together. Let me get that grip together. Yo, when you go extra wide like that too, the expansion on the back is fantastic. You know what I'm saying? You really feel how it ignites that entire back region, like. Let's go wide again, y'all. overhand with it. Follow up. Just keep attacking the ball, like I said. Keep attacking it. Follow up. Immediately. Right after. Back to back. Huh? And then get back up on that ball. Like so. Get lost in the work. Hit that neutral, hit that overhand again. Follow up, mix and match. Mix and match. Go from one to the other, from the other to the, you know what I mean? Switch it up. Go back to the close neutral. Then get back on that ball. That was a failed attempt. It's all right. I like that. Like that. Get back up on that ball. Beautiful. Get lost in the work. Let me go wild with it again. Let me get it together. Get some agua. Well deserved. But of course, back feeling real. Yeah. happened. Yeah, I take that last wide set. Yeah, I accept that. Yo, salute. I see y'all applying that pressure to that like button. And let me not forget, if you have chosen to subscribe, much gratitude in advance. Amazing weather. Appreciate you. Thanks for the likes indeed. Yo, Fresh, salute. Get back on that bar. We got work to do. And then before we, let's not, get some of these in, y'all. Super duper activation. Let's bring this in a little closer, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that chest a little attention. beautiful way to cool down with those push-ups, you dig? That's how you cool down. You know, after all that pulling, you know, get that cool down with the push-ups. We got work to do. It's not just no catchy phrase. We out here for real, for real. Huh? You get as many as you can. You get lost in the work. Huh? You define the word of consistency by way of action. We got work to do. For those who just arriving on the scene, you can catch the rest of this video. You can catch the beginning on the playback. You know what I'm saying? So let's go over what we done. We still getting this work. We got work to do. So we hit the dips, right? We got the triceps incorporated with that, of course. Some chest. We did the pull-ups. We got the back. With the neutral grip, we hit our biceps, got that arms incorporated, right? Those compound movements hit all the connective factors of the makeup of the upper body, right? Of course, right? So we getting it all, upper body workout. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just cool down, getting the finishing touches, you know what I'm saying? Put a little emphasis on that chest. I need work on my chest. I need work overall. That's why I'm out here, you know? So where I lack, I'll make the investment, you know? Let's get it. We got work to do. Another glorious day. Taking this fresh air, breathe the breath of life. Huh? We got work to do. We got work to do. We got money to make. We got a deposit to submit. Just want to see, make sure my entire body is up in that joint. You are? Sure. We got work to do. We got work to do. Yo, hit that like. For sure. Yo, big shout out to the chat. You already know. Much gratitude. You know what I'm saying? For you showing up. For you applying pressure to that like button. You dig? For those who are just arriving on the scene, welcome to 7 Fitness, where we got work to do. Appreciate you. Clean money. Gotta be clean money. You know, our bankroll gotta be crisp. You know what I'm saying? We like those blue bills. Huh? Quality over quantity. That's what we like. Huh? We got work to do. Times, I still got stuff I gotta do within my day. You know? Yeah. That's how we, you know? Come on now, we got work to do, man. Word, man. Big shout out to y'all, though, you know what I'm saying, for showing up for me as always. You know, I definitely give y'all that recognition. I don't take it lightly, not at all. You know what I'm saying? For sure, for sure. You know, y'all have been a great support in the growth of the channel. You know what I'm saying? Of, you know, making it worth it, you know, in regard to the platform, you know what I'm saying? Of course, this is a way of life. This is a responsibility for oneself, you know, whether on or off camera, you know, whether, you know, anything revolve around, again, it's an individual accountability of health, of wellness, of strength, you know, all of the above, you know, but again, you know, me making the choice and my commitment to showing up and your participation really, really, you know what I'm saying, makes it worthwhile, you know, for sure. You know, a great workout. So, you know, like I said, we hit the dips, we hit the pull-ups, we hit the push-ups, just to, you know, to cool down and, you know, give the chest some attention, you know, to break up the body parts that were worked on throughout the duration of the routine, you know. So, yeah, appreciate you all. You know what I'm saying? Indeed. And you know, it's so necessary for that to be, you know, expressed, because, you know, a lot of, you know, I mean, it's the people, you know, it's the people that, you know, give the level of, again, support, participation, and I don't think that that's, from what I see, you know, from in other spaces, you know what I'm saying, that isn't necessarily the case, and it should be. So, but that has nothing to do with me, you know what I'm saying. I just know the importance of, you know, making that recognition known to you all. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Indeed, you could be anywhere else in the world than right here, and giving me feedback and encouraging words with, you know, your wisdom, your insight, you know, your expertise, your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We all have a contribution to the world. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I'm saying too, you know. It's just important for me to make mention of that. You know, we all was born and have a certain path in which that contribution is you know, given to the world, you know. So you get it, you know. And we out here. We got work to do. Yeah, so, you know, I'm gonna go on with my day. I got some more, I got more errands to run. I got halfway, I'm halfway finished with doing what I need to do to get this week started and all that, you know? Like I said, though, spring is winking at us, y'all. Before you know it, these trees will be filled with leaves, the insects, the animals, the sounds, the birds, you know, the people. It'll be a more occupied environment, you know? And that's right around the corner. So let's prepare, because we got work to do. And this is how it gets done, you know. Start that day early, you know, get that workout in, and the earlier the better. You know, get that work out the way, and you know, be able to have plenty of time to further invest whatever else needs, you know, that necessary, you know, whatever that may be to get done. That's all. And thanks to you for sharing your time. We got work to do. Yo, shout out to English. Major deposits, Fresh. Major deposits. You know, we make those deposits and then we reinvest, right? Because how I see it, today's workout is a contribution to tomorrow's workout, to next week, to next month, to next year, to going forward. You know, this is a way of life for me, you know, and many different aspects of how this benefits me, you know, to say the least, you know. So we got work to do. It don't stop. You know, like they say, movement is medicine. And it's a fact. Movement is medicine, you know. And it's a gift, it's a blessing to be able to rise up every waking day and to have the ability autonomously, independently, you know, your own free will to make it happen. You know, and I know that you agree. You know, you can attest to that. You know, you could resonate, you know. And if you don't, I'm here to tell you. I'm here to reassure you. And I will attempt to convince you how beautiful life is. And I'm talking to myself, you dig? So before I close out, because what I'm saying, I have to implement in my own mindset, my own mind. But of course, you know, none of us are exempt from the challenges and the unpredictabilities of life. But our perspective plays a great deal in how we cope and how we push forward and how we overcome and how we achieve. Catch you on the next go around. Peace.